When it comes to For Honor's roster, there are quite a few characters. Some are unique and have intriguing movesets, and others look cool and are menacing. And just like in any fighting game, you also have characters that require skill, some that require a lot of practice and dedication to use competitively, others that might be more user friendly and easy to play, and then there's this guy. Alright, hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Today, I'll be teaching you everything you need to know about Conqueror in order to convert him into an autopiloted salt miner that will win you every single game. To do so, I will be teaching you all his stats and how they compare with the relevant meta, his chains and mix-up potential, his playstyles, and lastly, his matchup list. So, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so when it comes to raw statistics and moves, Conqueror is a pretty average character. Conqueror has a very generous 140 health. Follow this up with 120 stamina, which certainly is enough to do a few chains, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. His opener light deals 12 damage and the chain ones deal 13. His zone deals 15 damage. His side heavies deal 24 and his top heavy deals 27. His follow-up heavies deal 22, his charge heavy deals 28, and both his follow-up attacks after bashing or full blocking deal 13 damage. Out of an out-of-stamina guard break, you can throw sideways, guaranteeing you a top heavy followed up by another heavy, dealing a total of 49 damage. If you parry an opponent out of stamina, you get a guaranteed zone into a chained heavy, dealing a total of 37 damage. Generally speaking, Conqueror still stays somewhat true to his original purpose, which is of a tanky character, having a very good defense and HP pool but dealing below average damage. Alright, so here's where things starts getting spicy. As far as mix-ups go, Conqueror offers one of the best in the game. This is mainly due to the fact that literally every single move is an unblockable or a bash, except for the light attack. Now, even though this already makes him sound obnoxious, I'm not even done. Nowadays, many characters such as Lawbringer or Kensei suffer from what I like to call interruptible chain syndrome, and I know, pretty original name, don't at me. This is normally due to characters having slow chain moves without hyper armor that can be light selected or bashed out of, and is one of the main tools used to estimate whether a character is good or not. Well, guess what? Conqueror's chains are almost unreactable and can't be interrupted. Keyword: almost. Let me explain. Okay, so Conqueror is one of the few characters in the game that has 4 or more opener moves, those being his light attack, his heavy attack, his chargeable heavy, and most importantly, his bash. To start off, the bash, his light, his heavy attack, and his charge heavy can chain into another light, unblockable heavy, or bash. Although you do want to be careful since chaining a light from the same direction can make it hella slow and will get you punished. Now, this isn't that bad until you realize that the unblockables and the bash can be feinted. I really don't understand why characters can feint jump attacks and bashes. Ubisoft, can you please explain? Nah, but in full seriousness, since those can be feinted, you can always feint into another light attack, another heavy, a guard break, his full stance, or even another bash. Combined with this with the fact that his chains can't be interrupted by most characters and can catch several dodge attacks, and you end up having the pure definition of an RNG based character that quite literally forces you to guess almost every single time. Now, since Conqueror is a hybrid, he can afford to play however he really wants. You can turtle and play the punish game since you have access to good tools such as the full block and the superior blocking, which allows you to dodge on dodgeables for some reason. You can also play with him aggressively and apply pressure with heavily mixed chains, or you can just troll and bash people out of their senses. That was pretty fun too. I personally like to mix it up. As with most characters, I like to start defensively and pay attention to patterns or specific options my opponents rely on. After I figured him out, I will wait for an opportunity to punish him and start my offensive chains. This playstyle is complemented by the fact that he has a high HP pool, which allows you to tank a lot of damage. Last but not least, let's talk about his matchups. Obviously enough, Conqueror has a lot of good matchups. So instead, I will be covering the characters that you should be looking out for and might have to adapt to in order to dispatch them effectively. The first character that I would like to talk about is Nobushi. Yeah, surprisingly enough, the low tier waifu actually does fine against this character. Nobushi can easily dodge attack out of most of Conqueror's mix-ups, and now this may not seem that bad until her hidden stance comes into play. Thanks to this mechanic, Conqueror is actually forced to parry her attacks, since she can enter the hidden stance before the block's punish hits her. This already takes away one of your key tools. In addition, since Nobushi's attacks have significantly more reach, she can actually afford to attack Conqueror without him being able to do so. This becomes problematic whenever you try to open with bashes or heavy. Another character that destroys Conqueror is the Lord of Darkness himself. I generally believe that there is no need for me to elaborate, but for all of those nugget brains that couldn't figure it out, I'm referring to his shield flip as well as his access to vertical undodgeables. These two moves really give Conquerors headaches, since they cover most of your options and force you to play neutral more defensively. Also, Blackbriar's shield bash is actually faster than Conqueror's, which ends up contesting him more often than not. Another character that you really need to look out for is Gladiator. Gladiator's versatile kits allows him to easily escape your chains with his dodge lights and dodge bashes. Also, his fast lights are actually one of the few that can contest your mix-ups, so be careful when facing one and seek for light parries. The most obnoxious part though is the toe stab. This single move is going to make your life miserable, since it completely cancels your bashes and many of your chains. Lastly, we have Tiandi and Hyunkyung. I mentioned these together because they share the same dodge mechanic. Obviously, this move can only be interrupted with well-placed lights or guard breaks, which can take away some of your options. Also, Tiandi has a very obnoxious bash into undodgeable mix-up, which can be problematic. Anyway, this is the end of the video. As you guys may tell, I am slowly trying to adapt these to make them more compact and more direct. If you guys still think that there's anything I should change about this video style, please let me know in the comments. Anyways, see you around.